Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. I am Giuseppe De Leggi di Informatica. Today we talk about Engwe E26. The Engwe E26 is an electric fat bike with an impressive appearance and a very careful design. It has a very good technical equipment that we will see in a moment and hides its true strength in the engine. We have a 250 watt brushless engine with an impressive torque of 70 Newton meters, which is not a small amount for a 250 watt engine, and this power allows it to climb even slopes above 30%. But due to the road code, its top speed is limited to 25 km/h. The bike is perfectly legal. In fact, it can move freely on Italian roads, even if we have the factory Riva accelerator disabled on the handlebars, so if we want to use it, we have to unlock it. In fact, where allowed, we can restart the throttle, remove the elimination of engine power from the secret menu, and we will see it at the end. So video? We can make full use of the 750 watts of engine power and can reach a speed of nearly 50 km/h. The engine thrust is powerful and can be felt during the assisted pedal session, but using the accelerator, you will definitely appreciate the intensity more. To power our Engwe E26, there is a lithium battery of 48 volts for 16 amps. Now removable, this means that we can unplug it so we can recharge it, but also away from the bike, so we could leave the bike in the box and take the battery home so we can charge it. The maximum range declared is about 140 km in assisted cycling mode and 60 km in electric mode only. Obviously these values, as with all other bikes, are very relative values. In fact, it affects the consumption of electricity, the weight of the driver, the driving style, the route, and of course, if we unlock the bike. In fact, if we use a 750 watt engine at full power, it will obviously consume more than if we have a 25 km/h limit at 250 watts. The E26 is available in two versions. Lost are different for the chassis. One is the one we have, the step-over version, that is with the central barrel and with the classic mountain bike shape, and is good for people with height 1 and 65 and up. Then there is the true step version, that is without the central reed, and it is a bit good for everyone, especially for those who want to enforce the bike in a comfortable way, or who need to get up and down frequently from the saddle, so there is no need to skip, but you pass quietly, raising the leg slightly. I honestly like the person we have in the test. More reminds me of a mountain bike that I see a little more aggressive, but in terms of use they are basically the same. The bike is not very light, weighs about 35 kilo and can carry a maximum weight of 150 kilo, so the frame is very strong and well made. The welds are precise, clean, and also aesthetically has its own reason. It is available in 3 colors. One is what we have available. We have anthracite, and then we have a little hornet yellow, more vivid as color, and then the blue gem color, which is a kind of very cute blue-green, very vivid as color. The overall design is very careful. The battery is integrated into the chassis and is almost gone. The aesthetics is very cute, very dynamic, and it also looks very sporty. The E26 can be used on both normal road, i.e. asphalt, and on dirt. The accessories that come with the bike can be fitted according to the type of use you want. And for urban use we can install front and rear metal fenders, the generous front LED headlight and the rear stop. We also have a rear rack with a maximum capacity of 25 kg. Everything fits perfectly, making the bike very beautiful to see and also very comfortable to use. In case we decide to go to the dirt, we can still make the bike a little more aggressive by removing the rack, the two fenders, and the only thing we have to adjust the rear stop somehow or remove it completely, because normally it has to be mounted on the rear rack. So if we want to have the rear stop that works, we have to somehow fix it in the undersaddle. In addition, the holes for the bottle holder and even for a possible front basket or saddle are already drilled in the frame, so the bike is perfect for any need you have to make the riding experience more comfortable and safe. Engwe E26 with a damped fork adjustable in preload and can be locked at will. In fact, if you want to have a bike a little stiffer, to make the most of the speed on the asphalt, you can lock the shock absorber and then make the most of the handlebar reaction. However, if you want to use the bike on dirt, despite my 90 kg, the fork behaves quite well, manages to cushion and dampen most of the rough terrain. We don't have a shock absorber at the rear, but we have a cushioned saddle stem that absorbs most of the shock and vibration, and a fairly cushioned saddle that is very comfortable. We said at the beginning that the E26 is a fat bike. In fact, we have 26 wheels and 26.4 tires, so the total diameter of the wheel is almost 29 in. They look really huge, but this makes the bike very versatile and usable on any type of surface, including snow and sand. In fact, by acting on the pressure of the wheels, you can obtain a perfect grip on the ground, regardless of the type of path. In fact, if we want a faster, more responsive wheel, we must keep it. High pressure is usually used on clean, smooth asphalt-like ground. If we want to have more friction, more grip on a ground that is perhaps more slippery, it is better to lower the pressure a little bit so we can take full advantage of the bike on dirt, sand or snow. Of course, the comfort of the bike also depends on how hard the tires are, so if you want a bike a little softer, do not make it to the maximum pressure, but adjust yourself by doing some small tests and testing that is the ideal pressure for your needs. We said that the N2 and 26 is an imposing and powerful bike, and therefore to safely handle all this power we need an adequate braking system. Here we find hydraulic disc brakes and discs from 180. This allows us to have a powerful and well-managed brake, so we can turn safely even at full speed, knowing that our brakes will be able to stop us in the shortest possible time. An electric bike is a bike that has an engine and it helps us while riding, but we also have to help the engine to get more autonomy. In this case, to be able to best adapt our effort to the type of terrain we are facing, we have a Shimano 7-speed gearbox available. This allows us to best adapt our physical abilities to what the bike requires, and thus get the ideal pedaling on any terrain. The Engwe onboard computer has a backlit color display that is perfectly visible even when the sun is at its peak. At a glance we can easily read all the data related to the bike, so the autonomy, what we have left of batteries, the kilometers traveled, speed and so on. We also have the opportunity to enter the submenu, which is usually called the secret menu, although it is not so secret at the end. And in addition to unlocking accelerator and power, we can also customize many aspects of our Engwe E26, including the number of assist levels and how much power to assign to each step of the assisted pedal. Usually electric bikes don't have all these possibilities. On Engwe E26 we have the opportunity to optimize everything about assisted riding and all the functions of our bike. This is not to be underestimated. So far it is the first bike we have available that has this type of function. We have purchased our Engwe E26 on the new site. It's called Zoe LC. I don't know if it has a specific pronunciation, but this is the site. The site provided us with assistance during the purchase, and the bike arrived at our house directly after a week, so the standard time of most other sites. The packaging was impeccable and the bike arrived assembled. 75% already, but this obviously does not depend on the seller. It is really Engwe who sends it to you like this. So you have to install the handlebars, the front wheels, the racks, the pedals, the fenders and the headlights. He said it looks like a lot of things to install, but it's actually pretty simple. In fact, in the manual that is in the annex, we have explained all the steps and anyone can ride the bike. No need to be expert, no adjustments to make, just tighten a few videos, a few bolts, nothing special in the package. We also test the tools needed for assembly, as also said the manual and charger. Let's see how the Engwe E26 assisted cycling performs on the road.
We're at level 1. Does the engine help us? But not so much. We're going to go 2 ways, the same thing. The engine is there, but it can't be heard. Speed 3, already the pedal is softer. You get to about 12 km/h without.
Ratio.
At speed 4 the difference is clear. You feel a good push and it already takes us to about 16-17 km/h. Mode 5. The thrust is very strong and takes us to about 25 km/h. It is worth considering that we are now on the rise, and so the 25 are not doing it for obvious reasons. But
cars aside,
we climb quietly at about 23 km/h without much effort, cycling as if we were on the plane without too much effort. Of course, if we had to.
lower it.
The thrust? Here, you need legs, so the difference with the engine is clear. Apparently the accelerator is disabled, so we are
basically legal on the road.
And we go uphill, I repeat, without any kind of problem. Even though the bike has a 250 watt engine, it still has a good thrust. It can carry us up without much effort. I honestly didn't expect it to be so powerful as a push, as a thrust for a 250 watt engine. After trying the 750 ones, I thought I would be disappointed, but I was surprised. Now we're going to stand aside for a moment and let's make some changes, then go to the menu and go to AP5. Hong.
P6.
And we're getting the highest possible mileage, but it's all about the buttons. Then maybe we'll make a guide for that. The maximum we can do according to the onboard computer is 63 km/h. We press the side key to set the edit and go to turn off the computer. Now let's hold the brakes and accelerate and start the bike. Should give us 25 wrong. And we have to keep it for about 5 or 10, I think, low. Let's drop, see if the change is correct.
with these two modifications.
We have a top speed of 63 km/h, or whatever the engine and the throttle can do. In fact, if we accelerate,
We're already starting. The thrust is immediately good, full at speed 5. And even if we're slightly uphill, we're already at 26 without cycling, obviously 30 km/h. 31, here the climb begins again. And no cycling. Our small quote-wise 250 watt motor leads us to a fairly sustained speed. Now let's see what we can do on the plane. We're 34, 37 or 38. That seems more than enough.
Let's see. If the levels are gradual, of course 0.
it doesn't accelerate one.
Do we have a push? So, no matter what level of assistance, the throttle, even assistance 1 brings us to the maximum possible speed. More than 38-40 we can't do. Even if we put level 1 does not change. The engine pushes the same way. Good thing there is.
It's the files,
Hard drive. Plumbers.
and they allow us to stop in record time.
We come to the conclusion that the Engwe E26 Unibike are very versatile. We have a legal bike available to be able to ride on Italian roads without any problem with the law enforcement. And we have many accessories like metal fenders, luggage rack if the damped stop, LED headlight that make it very complete, especially at the price at which it is sold. We also leave you the link in the description with the coupon and can buy it at a very affordable price. From the new store we recently tried, zoeellc.com, but also other of our followers have already bought this site with very positive feedback, so we recommend it. In any case, the bike is also usable off the standard tracks, so if you want to unlock it, you can take full advantage of the 750 watts of its engine and you will have a lot of fun, I guarantee that, because at 70,000 Nm of thrust you feel a lot. The range is great. If we use it 250 watts, you can safely do it on electricity 50 kilometers. If you cycle, it depends on how much you cycle. You can even reach 100 kilometers, so it is definitely a great bike. The only drawback, if we want, is the weight, 35 kilo, but considering that the bike is quite generous in its size with wheels made from 26. The weight is just proportional to its size. For the rest, I have no problem to report on this bike, so I definitely recommend you to Engwe. It is one of the best-selling brands in Europe, one of the most reliable, so if you want an e-bike with the E26, go for it. I thank you for following our review. Soon online you will also find the tutorial on how to best manage the onboard computer, since it has so many functions that other computers do not have, so you can fully customize the driving experience on the E26. I repeat, thank you. Leave a like if you liked this review, if it was helpful, and if not, if you are not already, subscribe to the channel. Hello from Joseph Havel, DG Informatics.